Star Trek TNG's greatest Borg episode was also a cliffhanger for the actors. Star Trek The Next Generation's greatest Borg episode, The Best of Both Worlds, was also a cliffhanger for the actors, says Elizabeth Dennehy. As the smart and ambitious Commander Shelby, Dennehy was one of Star Trek The Next Generation's most memorable guest stars. A Borg expert, Shelby was a rival to Commander Will Riker, Jonathan Frakes. Yet Shelby became Riker's first officer when he took command of the USS Enterprise D after Captain Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart, was assimilated by the Borg. Elizabeth Dennehy appeared on The Seventh Rule, hosted by Sarah Lofton and Ryan T. Usk, to discuss Star Trek The Next Generation's The Best of Both Worlds, Part 1, which was TNG's first cliffhanger that rocked fans in the summer of 1990. Dennehy pointed out that the actors also had no clue how TNG's cliffhanger would be resolved, and that she and Jonathan Frakes played multiple aspects of Riker and Shelby's relationship at once in anticipation of what would eventually happen when they returned to film Part 2 3 months later. Read Dennehy's quote and watch the Seventh Rule video below. Something that I don't think a lot of people realize is that we only had the first script. We didn't have the second script. When we shot Part 1, we had no idea what was going to happen. No clue. We were waiting too, those 3 months, when Jonathan and I were talking about the relationship between these two characters. First of all, it was the first time they'd ever had a cliffhanger. One of the things we talked about was that we had no idea where this relationship was going to go. And we had no idea if they were going to end up falling in love with each other. Or was I a Borg in disguise? We had no clue. Was I a villain or a hero? So we had to kind of play all of that all at once in case of any option that they chose. The Best of Both Worlds was a turning point for Star Trek The Next Generation. Star Trek The Next Generation's The Best of Both Worlds took the series to another level. After a rocky first season, TNG began producing excellent Star Trek episodes, and loyal but skeptical fans gradually began to see the greatness of the series. But TNG's first cliffhanger was a paradigm shift. The Best of Both Worlds Part 1, ending with Captain Picard becoming Locutus of Borg, rocked viewers who waited with bated breath throughout the summer of 1990.